Morning guys, it's Crazy Edo from Tottenham 1882 and I'm just bringing you our latest war recap. Had a bit of trouble getting my recording software to work, but luckily managed to get it up and running and back online before we had the replays taken away. So let's have a look at our war log, and as you can see, we faced THC Paradise, a good victory, 52-43, and a good percentage as well. So let's have a look at the makeup of the bases that we faced. So we outmatched them quite heavily. We had a Town Hall 11, they had 5 Town Hall 10s, a number of Town Hall 9s, and then Town Hall 8s as well. So in terms of our 3 stars, we managed 13 out of 23 stars, so very, very good work to everyone in the clan for that. And, excuse me, I'm going to be bringing you my favourite 3 attacks from this war. Just trying to showcase a few different people, just so you can see who we are and what we're about. So the first attack, because we haven't seen a loon attack yet, is by MLM, and he's taking on number 11, Chaos. So MLM, every single war, he likes to try and identify a base where he can bring a penta. So here is a prime candidate where all the 4 air defences are equidistant. They are the sweepers are facing one way, so they will not affect an attack from the top, and they are actually level 6 air defences as well, so that's quite weak. Fairly weak queen, level 8. So yeah, everything to MLM says penta, penta me, penta me, penta me. So as you can see, very, very quick raid, 2 minutes. So he brings a giant into lure, he gets a nice little Tesla pop, and he gets the balloon and the dragon. So he'll double poison this, so I'll just fast forward through that. And then he just brings 2 hounds at each air defence, and then just spreads his balloons all the way around the outside of the top half of the base, and just lets them move on in. So obviously all the defences are shooting inwards, the balloons are coming in from behind. He rages up the hounds, and their job is to pop and to help get the queen. And you see one of the hound at the top pops, and the pups at the bottom take out the queen. So everything's moving through nicely, all his balloons are making their way through. He's got 2 more rages to help get those balloons into the air defences. So they move through onto the air defences, boom, they're gone. So there are 2 hounds still up. Black bomb nicely lands on that hound, and hopefully that one will pop. And his heroes are just down to help with cleanup. So the loon's just finishing off the final few defences. Whiz Tower, the only one that's going to hurt him, but that's gone. Just a mortar left, and 20 seconds of cleanup. Great attack, MLM. Love that. 3 stars. So the next attack that I wanted to show was on number 13 by Slydog. So Sly 3 stars occasionally. He self-confesses that he needs to improve, but it's always nice when these guys are trying 3-star attacks that they do pull out a 3-star. So I think it's worth showing this one here. So again, quite a square base, and Sly brings like 5 hogs in to take out the cannon and to get the lure. So he does well because the hogs split. So he wouldn't have known that was going to happen. And standard double poison. Just wait for that to happen. Okay, so that's all done. And so he brings his golems in on the top left-hand side. Very, very narrow kind of funnel. So I mean, what I just want to say about funneling very, very quickly, and I might do a video on this a bit more, is if you look at the queen, when he drops down the queen, he's also got 2 or 3 wizards in there that are aiming at the same thing as the queen. Now, if we think that queen has a 5-tile radius in any direction, so we can imagine like a cone coming out from the queen over to this builder hut, and from the queen over to this archer tower, whiz tower. Anything in front of that, the queen can take care of. So when we're looking at funneling, these wizards should be out on this army camp, and these wizards should be out on these barracks if possible. Obviously, you've got to take into account ranges of defences, etc., and that's where your golems come in to help tank. So it's just a food for thought on a funnel. The queen can take everything in her range, and will do it quite quickly. The wizards can take everything outside of that, while the golems are taking the brunt of the defensive DPS. Anyway, back to the raid. So the kill squad start working, and because the funnel is not created in this situation, both heroes walk away. Both heroes decide to walk off to the top, and the king definitely won't be seen again. Now, fortunately, the king comes across and manages to attract the attention of the attacking queen. So she comes back and she decides to deal with the king, and she will ultimately come in and help with her archers to deal with the queen as well. So he's got a bit fortunate there. But his kill squad are basically keeping the queen busy, so he thinks it's fine to bring in his hogs. So he just sprinkles them in, 3, 4, 5 on each defence, down this bottom side. Heals them up, and you see the queen at the top is now taking down the enemy queen, so that's perfect timing as the hogs move through. And the hogs just sweep from left to right, taking everything out as they come. They converge on that mortar. Heal probably slightly early, but it doesn't matter, it's okay. They're still sitting in the hill when they're on the expo, that's quite important. And then there's just 3 defences left, mortar, whiz tower and archer tower, and they get through those no problem. So he's got some wizards and archers on the right hand side, he's got the queen on the left hand side. So now we are on cleanup. Now it's quite a long cleanup. He does catch a double giant bomb, and that's probably why, because he loses a few of his hogs, so the bit in the middle takes a little bit longer, but he wraps it up. Very nice line, nice to see you 3-starring, buddy, and hopefully we'll see a few more of these from you. Okay, so my final attack, another guy who's really pushing to try and get his 3 stars up, learning at Town Hall 8 before he comes up to Town Hall 9, is Tricky. So Tricky takes on number 17 here, and he brings a standard Goho for Town Hall 8, so 2 golems, 20 hogs, plus his hogs in the CC. So same stuff here. I'll fast forward law and gets a skeleton trap, which is a massive added bonus. So he manages to place his second poison down to get all of it, which is lovely. And then he brings down his golems on this left hand side, this bottom side, sorry. So his wizards go in. Again, it's not the same at Town Hall 8 as it is at Town Hall 9. You need those wizards to help clear those buildings behind the golems as well. So he brings them in. The king breaks through, and he breaks open that right hand side, but I don't think anything is going to path into there anymore. That's a bit of a shame, but it's okay. His kill squad are working through. They're distracting. Couple of mortars, a cannon, and the hogs are coming in from the top left hand side. So he does well to bring in 2 lines and heals them very early to try and get them through the early part of this base. Loses a couple to spring traps, but it's okay. And he catches a giant bomb right at the end of that heal, which is really, really unfortunate because he loses all his hogs at the top end. But he's got enough power. He's still got CC hogs in the bag, which he's going to bring in on this wizard tower while it's being distracted by the golem. And then there's just 2-3 defences left. And then it's just the whiz tower and about 9 hogs, maybe 8 or 7 hogs now after that spring trap. And a few less after that spring trap. But they finish off the defence, they turn, and now they're working on cleanup. Very, very nice. He's got this wizard on the left-hand side working hard with the king. And then everything will jump through to the middle. Does trigger the last giant bomb there. But it doesn't matter. It's 3 stars. Good work, Tricky. So, it was a good war. Very, very happy with the... we just missed out on a couple of bases. So we had an 86% on that one, an 87% on that one. The Town Hall 10s were not overly excellent, but most of them had the job done pretty comfortably. So that's pretty much for me. It from me on the current war, on the previous war. On the current war, we are absolutely smashing these guys to pieces. So we'll enjoy bringing you a recap of some great attacks here. The war's pretty much already won, so the last 11 hours is going to be pretty much a formality of trying to clear up those 9s and hopefully getting everything 2-starred on the 10s and above. So, yeah, as I say, that's it from me, guys. So thank you very much for watching, and come on, you Spurs.